Blessing, Aya, blessing, peace. Peace, love, and blessing to each and every one. Mm. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Hope you guys doing wonderful on this beautiful day. Shout out to each and every one. Shout out to all the people out there who doing what they got to do to make it works. Shout out to all the gardeners. Hey, MC Garvey Chap, how you doing? Peace, peace, peace and blessing, Aya. Peace and blessing. Yes, guys. I want to ask you guys this question. Do you guys facing like serious heat right now, serious weather, or dry weather season? Let me put it this way. Remember, guys, we in spring right now, the beginning of spring. And you know, in the beginning of spring, we get a lot of rain, showers of blessing, showers of blessing. We get a lot of that. But this year, something is definitely different this year. Definitely different. We thought it'd be the 17th. Yes, I, the 17th. Hey, D'Angelo, how you doing? I a blessing, man. Oh, all right. Thank you for the gift, man. Blessing, I a blessing. Peace and blessing to you, Jed. Yeah, man, everything good for the time being. Just the here, you know what I'm saying? Just the here, taking in the sun, relaxing under a fruit tree. Ain't that a blessing? Yes, man. Hope everything going good for you as well, brother. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Is you dealing with this heat? This heat with no moisture inside of it? It's just it's just the heat. Man, it's so scary to plant. I don't know if you guys going through this. It's so scary to plant right now. Especially, guys, I'm a guy don't really water my garden, so that make it worse. It's so scary to plant. I'm trying to figure out if you guys going through the same thing, man. Is you guys, yes, definitely. Stay hydrated, definitely. Yes, that's very important, guys. Staying hydrated is very important because you need that liquid inside you, you know what I'm saying? So staying hydrated is very important. Is there, it has been lack of rain. That's right. MC Garvey, yes, lack of rain. Okay, so I guess I'm not the only one who dealing with this right now. I was in my garden yesterday. I think it was yesterday, guys. And I was trying to plant some squash. Man. And I was doing a live, yeah. And I was digging with a pickaxe. I was digging. And when I'm digging, guys, the soil was so hard and dry. I don't know, man. I don't know, but these the type of thing, guys, that can cause us to lose our crop. I'm not saying we're going to lose our crop. I'm just saying these are the type of thing. Could you imagine you start getting these type of weather in the spring and no rain? Think about it. Could you imagine you getting 80 degrees, 90 degrees of weather in the spring without rain? That could destroy any crop, guys. I'm telling you. That could disrupt any crop with that type of heat. Because listen to me, and this is why, guys, I always talk about the depth of planting, how deep you should plant a garden. I always talk about that because I know how important it is. With this type of weather, your plants can still able to withhold itself, because once the root have life, the plant have life. Even though the leaf might get scorched, once the root have life, these scorched leaf could regenerate. But if the root dries up, the plant goes as well. So this is the importance of planting deep, guys, for this type of weather, drought. And you know what? I always do weather about these things. I always do videos about drought, because I understand, guys, if there's a drought and you plant your plants them 6 inches deep, 5 inches deep, like I was doing a video and live the other day, and when I dig, the soil is thick like this, and the whole thing is dry and clamp, 6 inches. But if you go down 10, if you go down 10 to 12, oh, sorry, thank you for that, thank you for that. Hey, Lashos, how you doing? Blessings to you. Yes, so hardening off. Hardening off is very important. Hardening off your seedlings, because you cannot just bring your seedlings out of the greenhouse or wherever you have them and put them directly in the sun. You're gonna lose them. The sun gonna scorch them. But if you bring them and you put them in a shaded area and let the heat They're gonna be getting the heat, but not direct sun. So they're gonna get used to that. And when they get used to that now, then you could say, all right, let me plant them. But do not plant your seedlings in the burning sun. You're gonna lose every one of them. When is the best time to plant in this type of weather? When is the best time to plant? 30 minutes per day, definitely. That's right, man. That's right. That's right. 30 minutes per day, not all day. Because they're still seedlings. They have to adjust. They can't just bring them out. 30 minutes per day. That's right. That's right. I mean, it's very challenging. Late evening, definitely. Best time. The best time to plant seedling is late in the evening. Best time. Why? Some people gonna wanna know why is the best time. Some people gonna wanna know why is it the best time. Yes, here why it's the best time. It's the best time. Thank you. It's the best time because here one. If you plant them in the evening when the sun is down and you water them, that water gonna kind of sustain them overnight because you know overnight is colder. Their root might able to catch some life within that cool weather. By the time the morning reach, they have some strength already because remember you transplant them. You know, sometimes they go in a shock when you transplant them. So you want to do it in the night. So when you bring it out in the when you bring it out and you plant it in the evening and you wet them. If you in an area where you have water, then you could wet them in the morning as well, all in the morning. That could help sustain them during the day. So when the sun comes out, the soil is moist, so the sun is not gonna dry out all the more. You understand? But if you plant it in the day, in the morning to deal with that sun, automatically you're gonna lose them. So yes, you're right, you're correct. The best time is late at evening when the sun is down. Get them used to low temperature. Then the morning, that's right. Gradually, that's right. That's right. You know, gardening is, it's just some things you just got to apply. Because my thing is, guys, I'm a gardener and I believe in growth and success. That's my goal in gardening. Growth and success. I don't believe in just because I could plant a plant, I just go and plant it. No. When I plant a plant, I expect to eat from it. I expect to eat. So I try to study the plant. I try to study them, learn about them, see what's fit them, see what works best with them. Because if you could understand, I'm still learning, brethren. It's definitely, me myself, I've been gardening since I was like 5 years old, maybe younger, and I'm still learning. We could never finish learning, all right? We could never finish learning because sometimes in your zone too, in your zone, things could be different because you could be growing in this zone and everything going well, but when you go in another zone now, you have to adapt You got to change things up, and this is what uh, people have to understand. You have to garden according to what is taking place in your zone. You see what I'm coming from? Like, for instance, there's people who could be planting March, April. There's people who have to wait till May to start bringing their stuff outside. That's two complete different planting season right there. Now, for the people who got to plant in May, it's very important for them to get their soil ready. It's very important for them to get their seedlings going and their soil ready. So from at the time they plant, their plant just ready to go. If your planting day is in May, after the frost, you got to be ready. You got to be prepared and ready for the planting day. You cannot wait till May to now getting out there now fixing. So no, that's all supposed to be fixed already. You should be opening up the holes to plant in May. And when you plant them, they're ready to take off. Because the growing season is too short. So you as a gardener, you could never know. If someone tell you they know everything, just laugh. Because you could never know everything. You could learn along the way. You could improve in knowledge. Because if you're growing a plant in your zone, in your garden, for years, you're supposed to have some type of understanding about these plants and what gonna make it produce more, what gonna make it grow better, what's gonna make it get bigger root system, big, which big root system is very important. Big root system is very important. Even you in a growing in container, it doesn't matter where you're growing. Whether you're doing it in a container, whether you do it in ground, a big root system is important. That's where you get production. If the root is small and not growing, not going nowhere, not spreading, the plant's not gonna produce. And a lot of times, guys, we back our plant, the root system. We back our root system. And because we back our root system, our plant is not growing to the potential it should grow. And it's not producing the way it really should be producing. Because sometimes we ourselves is hindering them from growing. Like, for instance, let me tell you why it's important. Another reason why it's important to plant deep. Let me tell you another reason. You know, sometimes you plant and just like now, the weather is dry, the place is real tough. No, you want to go in now and you want to soften up the soil, you want to try to break up the soil. No. If you plant deep, when you go in and trying to soften up the soil, you would not be damaging the root because it's deep. But if you plant 5-6 inches deep, by the time you start raking up, you start damaging the root. You start breaking up the root stem from the plant. No, that plant have to regenerate. The plant have to regenerate new roots instead of continue growing and spreading and sucking up the nutrients. You already damaged that root. So now the plant now have to start over. That's backing their root. That's backing them from growing. Your growing season is too short. Your growing season is too short to make these mistakes. And a lot of us make these mistakes because we're not planting deep enough. Also, by not planting deep enough, what could happen? The sun, when the sun start penetrating, the heat start hitting the root. And if the heat start hitting the root, that's another problem there again. Hey, G Mama Grows, how you doing? Blessings. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Yes. So that right there, the heat, the heat start hitting the root is gonna damage the root. Same thing in a container. Could you imagine a container, right? You growing in a container and you dealing with 100 degrees. Could you imagine you dealing with 100 degrees in a container? The ground, when the sun hit the ground, it push off steam. When the sun hit the side of the container, the heat, could you imagine that that root is hitting the edge of the container, hitting the edge, and then the container like this, and then the container get hot, you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna damage the tip of that root. So when it damages the tip of the root now have to regenerate again. Instead of continue, it regenerate. So it's very important for you not to. Oh, I see the sun cool down, man. Wow. I would have loved to see a shower or rain, but the cloud is blue at this moment. So guys, when you pay attention to your garden, sometimes you sit down and you observe, you watch what's going on. Sometimes you look, sometimes you watch the plant. Same every year you pay attention, you watch the growth of the plant. You see how they're doing. You see what you did this year that make they strive so well. And you keep applying that. The thing is sometimes we too distracted, man, because listen me guys, the distraction is real. The distraction is real. And to get this success, man, you have to stay focused, guys. You have to stay focused. Let me see what the chat saying. Okay, D'Angelo say, I made a lot of mistake along the way, learning, but now it's more like trial and error. The more you practice, experiment, the better it gets. You didn't make no mistake. It was a learning process. It ain't no mistake. It's a learning. Guess what? Here why it's a learning process, because you know next time. You see? So you learn it. There's no mistake in this thing. You learn. It's a learning process, and you never stop learning. You could never stop learning in gardening because it's always something. It's always something. Sometimes you watch a plant. This year, you watch the plant and you watch everything about the plant. Next year, the same plant shows you something different that you didn't see the year before. So it's every plant is always a learning lesson. But guess what? The more you learn and the more you observe and see what is working for your garden, is the more you're going to understand the plan. And do you know, guys, I can tell you every year, I can tell you, which I've been doing every year, that I'm going to grow 8 foot 9 feet tall pepper tree. Do you know I could tell you that and it happened? I could tell you today which I'm going to grow 8 feet tall pepper tree. I could tell you this year I'm going to grow a bell pepper tree 8 feet or 9 feet tall and pull it off. I've been doing it for years now. because I've been growing them for so long, I understand what it takes, whether it's raining or it's not raining. I could still make it happen. So it's about learning, observe and apply. You know the pepper love a lot of hot sun, put them in an area where they could get the hot sun. You know they love organic matter, feed them with organic matter. You see what I'm coming from? So when you learn and apply, that brings success. It's simple. You learn and you apply. That's success in your garden. Thank you for the gift, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yes, a lot of focus and discipline. That's right. That's right. That's right. With me now, I've been doing this for so long, I have it in my head. I remember. But if you're a new gardener, and you might be able to remember everything, you could jot down some things. You could write down some things. You could say, all right, my pepper, my collard greens, my lettuce, what I did this year, and it works wonderful. So I'm going to continue to do that. Now, if where a lot of people get distraction from too, if you grow in your garden and you see your garden producing well, stick to it. Stick to what you're doing, because it's giving you what you want. So stick to what you're doing. In your zone, in your garden, you are the master of your garden. So whatever work in there, stick to you. And you know, guys, over here we talk about organic garden, so I'm not going to tell you to go use anything, because for what I notice, if you're building an organic garden, you build it for the future, for a long term. And my focus always is growing my soil. That's my focus. It's the soil. It's the soil. If you able to grow the soil, when I say grow the soil, build it a certain way. If you're able to do that, then the soil gonna grow the plant. You see what I'm coming from? If you build your soil is what gonna grow the plant. Because now the soil now is loaded with what the plant desire. The minerals, the nutrients, you understand? The plant have that. So once you feed your soil, the soil gonna feed the plant. So just focus on, just remember, it's not gonna happen overnight. That's all you have to remember. This process is not gonna happen overnight. But over the years, you're gonna see improvement. Over the years, you're gonna see a lot of improvement. You're gonna start to see things you never saw before. You're gonna start to see growth that you never saw before, because you build in your soil. You grow in your soil. And when you build and grow your soil, the soil gonna grow the plant. So just keep focusing, guys. Don't get distracted. All right, D'Angelo, so this is your 8th season. All right, man. You get in, you just continue to do what you're doing. And like I say, focus on organic gardening. Continue to do what you're doing. But the thing is, you got to stay focused and you got to believe in what you're doing. That's the thing. Because you know amount of people that tell me about product. Oh man, you should try this product. You know the amount of people tell me that. And I had us to be strong-minded to say no, hell no. I had us to be strong-minded and say no. I'm doing it a certain way and it working for me. So why? I'm going and use this thing. No, you selling me go buy something I'm not even familiar with. So there will always be distraction. There will always be people telling you about product. So you got to stay focused. Build your soil. When you build your soil, anything you plant, produce. It doesn't matter what. Anything you grow, produce in abundance. But shortcut. A lot of us love shortcut and overnight process. Shortcut and overnight progress. That's not possible in gardening, guys. That's not possible. That's not possible. You see, I speak or I present the truth in this thing. I don't try to sugarcoat nothing to make it seems like no. I don't sugarcoat no. I tell how it is. You understand? It's not gonna work overnight. There's a lot of people tells you that you could get compost in days. No. You can't get no compost in days. Even you making compost tea, you still got to let it go for a month, at least a month or a couple months. Because you have to understand something. This thing have to break down. The water have to abstract all the nutrients out of these leaves and these branches or whatever you're putting inside there. So it's not going to take days. Nothing take days in this thing. Maybe a month and go up. It have to dilute. It have to break down. There's certain things have to come together in that compost tea. So when you give it to your plant love it and just start running. Believe in your garden. Believe in yourself. There's a lot of distraction out here. I'm telling you guys, there's people today not even growing a garden. Don't even have a plant, a tomato tree in their backyard. But they want to tell you how to garden. They want to tell you how to plant this and how to plant. No. We learn from the greats. We learn from people who are able to show you what they're doing and show you the result too. Like one time, I was doing a live session and someone said, do you know there's people who go to the store, buy vegetables to act like they harvesting them, to act like this is their harvest from their garden? And I just couldn't understand that. Because that's manipulating people. That making you believe that what they're doing is working. This is why we do live stream when we harvesting. Because we want people to see we actually picking a pepper from a tree or okras from a tree. We don't want to fool nobody. And this is why we do live stream, showing you our garden when it's struggling, Like these type of weather, when it's struggling and when it's doing great. You understand? If you're trying to inspire people or you're trying to encourage people, let them see the struggle. Let them understand this thing ain't just a walk, a walk in the park. This thing you really got to be focused on, you know what I mean, get this thing going. Because we don't want to make it seem like you just throw some seed and then they just grow up. It don't work like that. You can't just throw seed and they just grow up and you harvest. That's not how it works, man. You got to take care of these plants. So don't get distracted and misguided out here about gardening. Don't. Jangelo say, that's what my problem. Got distracted, walk interference with it sometimes. That's why this year I gonna come up with a system, grow as much as I can. Then I can pickle it or dry. That's right. That's right. Don't try to grow more than you can. You grow how much you can. The reason why I'm saying that, because these plants need care. I'm telling you. And sometimes you grow too much and then you cannot take care of all of them. So some of them don't, you understand, they wouldn't do well. So when you grow as much as you can, that means you're able to take care of everything. You're able to focus on the amount you see what I'm saying? Instead of trying to grow a big patch and then you only could focus on half. Hey Buffalo Patriot, how you doing? Appreciate you and your wisdom, so thank you for your words. Blessing Aya. You welcome, you welcome. You welcome. Yeah. Don't get distracted out there, man. This thing is real, star. This thing is real. And even though we're dealing with a drought here, and no, you got to figure out how to grow your food, man. You still got to figure out how to grow your food, even though you're not getting the weather. You still got to figure out how am I gonna grow my crop? Because you got to eat, man. So don't make the weather distract you and discourage you. Still try. You never know. May might be a time for rain. May might be the showers of blessing. You understand? So don't give up. Don't ever give up, guys. So what is your guys' plan this season, man? What you guys planning on growing this season? What's your mission? What's your... Yes, guys. Stay focused, man. You see me? I'm here just relaxing under some trees. It's a blessing, man. I'm telling you, it's a blessing. And now is the time to, if you are seed to set, start pouring them outside, man. If you got seed to set, start setting them outside, all right? Okay. Ashley Knuckles said, I'm in zone 6 trying to grow sorrel in container and in ground. We will see. Okay. Okay, Ashley. Great. I'm glad you're trying. I'm glad you're trying. Just make sure is the short season 1. because just make sure it's a short season one, because there's one of them I grow. Do you already start them? Do you start the seed already? I hope you start your seed as well. Since it's a short one, good, good. Growing everything close to my water source. All right, all right, all right. That's a good idea, Ashley. Grow everything you can, man. Watermelon, cantaloupe. Sorry for that, guys. Watermelon, cantaloupe, okra, corn, tomato, pepper. God damn. Man, you're growing a lot, man. That's wonderful. Hell yeah. Grow as much as you can. Hell yeah. I will say I'm starting my sorrel seed today. No, please, you should start them already, honestly. Get them out today, but you should already start them. Because my zone is a longer growing zone than you, and sometimes I just start mine from indoors and bring them out all in the spring, because you want to make sure that they have enough time to produce. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure, so you should start them in from inside. But I'm gonna tell you now, make sure you sow them today. Don't wait another day. All right? I need a lot of squash and pumpkin this year. All right, so get them seed in the ground. Get them seed in the ground. Get them seed in the ground, because it's getting late. We actually heading for May very soon. And then May, and then your growing season is even shorter than mine. So get busy. Don't procrastinate at all. Yes, because my I just grow sorrel, and